Jai Hind everyone, my name is Aman Gupta and my subject code is Software Quality Engineering. I am from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, MC Department. Subject code is BMC035 and my topic is Software Reliability Allocation Models. So first of all, we have discussed uh, our previous lecture that what is modeling process, what is modeling, and in this, the modeling process in software quality management refers to a structured approach that is used to define, measure, analyze, and improve the software quality. So that is the main point, that in this we have to, the motive is to improve the software quality, to work upon the quality of the software. And how can it be uh, inculcate in this? By using the well-defined quality models. So the main point is that whenever we are going to produce something, some software or product, we need to do that according to some quality models, and it helps in convert abstract quality requirements into quantifiable metrics that enabling effective quality control and assurance. When we are developing some software or product according to some layout, models or framework, then it is easy to ensure the effectiveness of quality and the control, and to assure that the software quality is of best. Next, what is the objectives? To achieve target system reliability and to identify the critical components used and to optimize the resource allocation and the testing effort. So why we use software reliability allocation models? These are the main objectives of using that. We have different type of allocation models available, in which first of all we have equal allocation model. So reliability is equally distributed among all components. It is as simple but not practical for complex systems because we are using equal allocation model. So if we have multiple parts, then reliability proportion is given equally to all the partitions, or we can say it is distributed equally to all the components. So it is when we are see practically, it is essential to provide more distribution towards the complex one and less to the simple but partition. So that is why it is called that it is simple but not practical for the complex systems. Next one is the weighted allocation models. As the name suggested, it is reliability is assigned on the basis of complexity, criticality, and the operational profile. So in this, the weightage is given according to the on the basis of the complexity, criticality, and the operational profile. And this is why it is the most realistic approach. Next one is the ARINC allocation models. It is used in aerospace systems and it allocates reliability based on failure rates, component importance, and it is highly structured and accurate. For example, in an e-commerce system, we can have a payment module that should be a high reliability required. In this, the reliability should be very high because finance is involved in this payment module. Next one is the UI model, and it is moderate reliability that the client or the customer can interact through the software using this interface or the user interface. So it is of the moderate reliability. Then how easy for the customer to navigate onto the interface. Next one is the backend services, that is critically reliability, that database like services, if we have to store some data in the database, then it is of the critical reliability. Now, what is the criteria for the model? evaluation. So first of all, we have to select an appropriate reliability model that requires the evaluating it against the specific criteria to ensure accuracy and usability. So when we select a model, we have some parameters that needs to be discussed or that needs to be evaluated when we are selecting a model that to ensure its accuracy and the usability. So some key evaluation criteria are goodness of fit. So how will the model fits observed failure data? That is one point maybe. The second one is the predictive validity. So its ability to predict future failures accurately. So that is also the point on which the key evaluation can be based upon. Next one is the simplicity. So how simple it is to use, its understanding and implementation. It is considerable point for criteria for model evaluation. Next one is the consistency. It produces stable results across the data sets. So consistency is also very important part. And next one is the flexibility, that its ability to adapt to different project conditions in which the data requirements, amount and type of data needed. So these are some criteria that has been used for the model evaluation. For example, we can see a model with high accuracy but requiring large data may not be suitable for small projects. So if we needed high accuracy, but we have large data, so we should have a use model for small projects that may be suitable for that type of projects. So software quality assessment models, first of all, what is these? They provide a structured approach to evaluate software quality attributes systematically, and it is the hierarchical model of software quality assessment. So this model organizes software quality into a multi-level hierarchy. So first of all, structure is level 1, quality factors. In this we have some high level attributes like reliability, usability, efficiency and maintainability. We have some sub factors also, that is breakdown factors into measurable components. For example, reliability, availability, failure rate. These are all the examples of sub factors. And level 3 is matrix, that is quantitative measures. Suppose we have to calculate the defect density, mean time between failures, and this can be calculated according to some formulation already given to the user or the system. Now it's working. It can define quality goals, break into factors and sub-factors, and measure using matrix and aggregate results to assess the overall quality. For example, for a mobile application, the factor is the usability and the sub-factor may be the learnability. So metric is time taken by new users to perform the task. That is the metric for the software quality assessment model. Now, advantage of hierarchical model is it provides the structured evaluation and it enables quantitative measurement, supports decision making and improves quality control and the assurance. So, software reliability allocation models, evaluation criteria that we have already discussed, models, evaluation criteria and hierarchical quality assessment models together provide a comprehensive framework for ensuring and measuring software quality. The main motive is to provide the software quality, to ensure that software quality is provided by using these type of allocation models. So they help in systematic planning, prediction and continuous improvement that leads to reliable and high quality software systems. Now we have some questions based on that software reliability models, like that explain software reliability allocation models in detail and discuss different approaches such as equal weighted failure rate allocation with examples. So these type of questions can be arise in the mind or in the question paper also. Next question is, describe the importance of reliability allocation in large software systems and explain with a suitable case study. So we can discuss these questions in detail. First of all, explain software reliability allocation models. So these are the techniques used to distribute the overall reliability requirement of a system among its individual modules so that the entire system meets the desired reliability target and ensure the software quality. So that is the definition what we need to write down or to understand. Now, what is the need for the reliability allocation? So first of all, it ensures each module contributes to overall system reliability. And it helps in design planning and quality control. It also identifies the critical components requiring the higher reliability. So the need for reliability allocation is that all the modules used equal resources to complete a task, and it also helps in design planning and the quality control. Now there are some approaches to reliability allocation that we have already studied, but according to the questions, how can we write down? That is, equal allocation is the reliability is equally distributed among all components. This is called the equal allocation. For example, if system reliability target equals to 0.90 and there are 3 modules, then how can we divide this? Each module is assigned equal reliability share. Then only this is called the equal allocation. So what are these advantages of equal allocation? It is very simple and easy to implement. We have to only equally share the components to all the modules. Next one is the ignores complexity and importance of modules. So this is the limitation of equal distribution, that it ignores complexity, that if some module needs extra resources to tackle, then it totally ignores it doesn't take care of any type of complexity and priority based or importance of the modules. Next one is the weighted allocation. So reliability, in this, reliability is assigned is based upon the importance, complexity or usage of the component. Now in this allocation model, the reliability is taking care very much upon the complexity or the importance or the priority given to the module. For example, in banking system or any other this type of system, payment module is the higher weightage, more critical, because in this finance or the money is involved. So this is the most critical part of the overall software system. So if we talk about UI module, it is the lower weightage. So interaction problem is much less critical problem rather than the payment module. So advantage of this is more realistic and practical, because on the basis of usage or on the basis of complexity, the resources are allocated, and limitation is requires proper estimation of the weights, that we have to calculate it, that how much reliability allocation needed for particular type of module, or we need to calculate the complexity of the modules. Now, next one is the failure rate allocation. So, system failure rate is divided among components, that it is the overall system and these components 1 to n, and if system failure rate is 0.06 and there are 3 modules, then it has been distributed A equals to 0.02, B equals to 0.03 and C equals to 0.01. Its advantage is quantitative and measurable. We can actually, through this formula, we can calculate the failure rate allocation to all the modules and suitable for reliability engineering. And its limitation is that it requires accurate failure data. Its application is in large systems like banking software, ERP systems, it can be used, and it helps in testing prioritization. It also improves the system reliability planning. Now, next questions that arise that describe the importance of reliability allocation in large software systems, and we should also explain with a suitable case study. So, first of all, reliability allocation is the process of distributing overall system reliability requirements among different modules, components, so that the complete system achieves the desired reliability level. So that is the definition of reliability allocation, in which the reliability requirement of the system is distributed among different modules and components so that the complete system achieves the desired reliability level. So this is the definition we can write down. And now what is its importance in large software systems? So it manages system complexity. Large systems consist of multiple modules. Allocation ensures each part contributes to overall reliability. Because large systems, we know that it consists of multiple modules, and we need to understand the complexity of the system and how much reliability needed by the by particular module is to be assessed correctly. Focus on the critical components, high risk modules. For example, payment module, security of the software system are assigned higher reliability targets. Efficient resource utilization. In this, we have testing efforts and resources are allocated where needed most. Next one is the improved system design. So, it can be improved. System design can be revised or can be changed according to the need of the reliability. Encourages modular and structured development. It also encourages the structured development part of the system. Better quality control. It also helps monitor reliability at component level, and it also supports maintenance and scalability by making easier to upgrade or fix the individual modules. Now we have a case study of online banking system. In this example, we have an online banking system in which we have multiple types of modules that are doing their work. That is, we have some system modules. We have user authentication module, account management in which all the finances have been taken care, fund transfer through which some funds can be transferred from one account to another. There is a payment gateway through with the help of gateway we can transfer the money, and the reporting tool also that is used to making all the reports. So if we are allocating some approach, that is reliability allocation approach in this payment gateway and fund transfer, if we have to identify which module is of critical operations, which module is of lower reliability, and which module is of moderate reliability. So we can, as we see that payment gateway and fund transfer are the most critical operations that has been performed inside a banking software solution. So the reliability is high for this for modules. Next one is the authentication module, moderate to high reliability. It depends upon if we have a login module and a person who is not authenticated to log in into a system, then it may be a higher reliability if he scams or he is a scammer. So it can be a higher reliability, or it may be a moderate reliability if someone mistakenly can have doing something wrong in the login password type of module. So this is the authentication module, and we can categorize it from moderate to high reliability. Now, next one is the reporting module. That is the lower reliability requirement, because in this we only have the reporting of all the funds transfer, all the account management, these type of things. We are in this module, we are only doing the reporting, and that is of the lower reliability, because it doesn't result in the any finance losses or money losses type of things. So the outcome is the critical transactions are highly reliable and secure. So in which we have money involved or something like that involved, that is called the critical transactions, and these are highly reliable and secure in terms of software systems. System failures are minimized in sensitive operations. It should be minimized if we are doing something sensitive operations performed, and resources are efficiently distributed across the models. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.